What's going on, guys? We're going to be talking about what constantly varied means. It gets thrown out in the CrossFit world a lot. You hear people say, hey, we want to mix it up and confuse your body, all these things. I'm going to let you know what I believe constantly varied is. I have looked at it in CrossFit-wise just because we are a CrossFit gym, so I've heard Greg Glassman talk about it. I've read about it. A lot of people are confused, so I just want to clear it up according to what I believe constantly varied is and why it's often misunderstood. So we confuse varied with random. So many people, all they do is vary their workouts, but it's really just random. So in the world of CrossFit, we believe that we mix and match different things, weightlifting, gymnastics, monostructural activities in different ways that were varied. That's not the only way to vary things. Well, first off, a lot of gyms end up just doing the same ranges of motion, the same hip extension, the vertical pressing, vertical pulling, snatches, cleans. We don't do a lot of lateral movement. We don't do a lot of rotational movement, which is part of the reason why those dumbbell power snatches in the open a couple years ago destroyed people. So vary the planes of motion. Moving front to back, side to side, rotating, vertical, horizontal, different degrees of vertical and horizontal pulling and pushing, single leg work, wherever it happens to be, vary that. You can add some variation in your warm-ups, make a little bit of skill work, because a lot of us have a hard time moving laterally if we are not playing sports anymore. So that's one way you can vary it. You can also vary the time of the day that you work out. Some of us are like, hey, I'm the best at 10:15. If CrossFit's really training for life, life does not care about the temperature, does not care if you're hydrated, does not care if you just had food in your stomach, does not care if you had a good night of sleep. Constantly varied is part of that as well. So if you only like working out in the morning because now it's the summer and it's hot, try working out in the heat. It's the only way you don't get better at it. We just had someone recently here who went hiking. It was 9 degrees in humid, and guess what? She has 3 boys. Guess what those boys needed? They needed mom to help carry them out of this hike. Did the kids care that it was really hot? Did the kids care that mom did Murph 3 days ago? They did not care. Life doesn't care what you like. We want to train as many varied situations as possible so that way you can get better. Now, I don't mean, hey, sleep 4 hours a night for 2 months straight and work out at 5 o'clock in the morning. What I'm talking about is every once in a while, don't allow yourself to have those excuses of, I didn't eat perfectly, I didn't sleep a perfect night's sleep, I'm a little dehydrated. Just be aware of it and learn how to work through it. Now, with that being said, this constantly varied does not mean that you never test or retest or have goals. So we see a lot of people hide from the idea of having goals or working on weakness because they're like, oh, I'm just constantly varied. And it's like, hey, you did thrusters last week, you did wall balls the week before, you did push press the week before that. So we have this plane of motion going on every week. Let's change it up, let's vary it, let's work on your weaknesses, set some goals, test, retest, make sure it works for you, all right? So don't hide and constantly varied. Make it part of your programming. Make sure you're actually working on those weaknesses, whether it's strength, gymnastics, wherever it is. Hope this helps you guys out, keeps you from hiding and being random, and helps you hit those goals as you go forward. I'd love to hear how you guys vary your workouts, whether that's the beginning of the day, end of the day, what you eat beforehand. Let's mix it up. Hope this helps you guys out.